Heroes, unite! Today, I salute my grandfather. First and foremost, I do have a prayer request for him. He fell on the floor while trying to get a shower earlier today. Long story short, he needed an extra towel. Didn't think about it till after the shower was on and tried to get it, slipped, fell. Now he's in the hospital. I don't know how long he's going to be in there. I don't know if he's going to spend the night or whatever, but I hope anyone who's seeing this does pray for him, because this is actually the third time in his life, that I know of anyways, that he's fallen. For all I know of, he could have fallen many other times. But I salute him because, one, he's fallen the most amount of times, and I had the least amount of troubles. I mean, I don't think he's broken or fractured a bone yet. Though this time could be the first, since the doctors, from what my grandmother said, saying that he may have fractured his femur, which I can't really remember what bone that is, but I think it would be the one connecting the knee to the hip. But I will say this. He, well, like most people's grandfathers, is really, well, not trying to be rude, but he's not as young as me. I'll leave it at that. I was actually going to say his age, but I think I've given enough info as I already should have, or you get the point. I think I've given enough personal info as is. Plus, I don't want to give someone specific age. I'll just leave it at this. He's older than me. and obviously my mom, and, well, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But I salute him because he was in the Air Force, and amazingly enough, about the only pain he got in the Air Force was he had to have some teeth removed because he wasn't able to properly get his teeth cleaned when he was in the Air Force. Of course, this is all before I was born, but still. I do salute him because he actually is a hero. Though he never fought in any war and was more like a computer technician there, I still consider him a hero nonetheless. But I do have to say, if there's anyone who has a prayer request for him, or no, scratch that. I mean, if there's anyone willing to pray for him, please do, because I have a prayer request, and that is that he gets to feeling better. And I also salute him because he survived prostate cancer. In fact, I think every so often he does have to go back and get that checked on, but really, I honestly can't remember. While I do live with him, I don't really keep track of all his medical stuff. Mainly because, well, one, too much for me to keep track of. Two, my sleep schedule is completely haywire. And three, most of the times when he goes somewhere, either A, I'm asleep, or B, when I was younger, I was in school or something, so I was never, well, alerted of it. And I also salute him for being so brave in the fact that when that he's lost both of his sisters. Luckily, his brother is still alive, but I think he lost both of his sisters to the same illness, though I can't really remember what it is. I think it has something to do with the heart. They could have died due to two completely different things, but he was really brave when his last sister, which would be my great aunt, no name for security reasons, died. He was actually in the waiting room, or not waiting room, but her hospital room at the exact moment she died, I do believe. Or it was my grandmother. I can't really remember at the moment. At that time, my sleep schedule was still going wackadoo, and, Well, if anyone knows, when you can't sleep, you can't think. And I was saying THINK. That was just to clarify that because I do know I have trouble pronouncing the TH sounds. And I don't want someone to think I said SINK. But anyways, he truly is a hero. Admittedly, I will admit that he's kind of a bit stubborn. But let's be honest here. What guy isn't? I mean, for Pete's sake, I'm stubborn. And honestly, as far as I'm concerned, and honestly, that seems to be a family trait on both of my grandparents' side. I've yet to meet one family member who isn't stubborn about something. I mean, for Pete's sake, I'm stubborn too. Though that might be because of my ADHD. I'm not really sure if that affects stubbornness or OCD or some combination, but between that and my genes. But anyways, the point still remains, everyone's stubborn about something. But back to my grandfather, well, all I can say is I really hope that you guys pray for him. Because, well, I really don't know what else to say. And any of my subscribers who are watching this, please, for the love of YouTube, give me suggestions here, people. I mean, how am I supposed to make videos if I don't know what the how I'm supposed to even do? I mean, first and foremost, while I will make videos about just about anything, well, you have a better chance of watching an episode of Tom and Jerry that Tom and Jerry, well, aren't named Tom and Jerry than you do of... Actually, I don't... You know what? Forget I said anything. I don't even know what the point was I was trying to make. I do... Well, not what the point was. I know the point was that it's going to be very hard for me to make a video if I don't know what to say, but I don't know how I was going to explain that point was the metaphor thing I was using. And I'm not even sure if that was a metaphor. Honestly, ever since I learned about metaphors and similes in class, it's completely confused the thing that's out of me. Especially when you take metaphors from what you learned in school and combine it with what they call metaphors in TV shows. Those kind of don't match. It's like you're trying to put two batteries in a TV remote, and one is going that way and one is going that way. It won't connect. They have to be the same way, like that. Well, I guess that's all I have to say. I've run out of things to talk about. So please, leave your suggestions on what I should talk about in the comments. And if you have any suggestions for new recording software for my Let's Plays, please let me know. Can't exactly do videos if I don't have the right equipment. And one of my friends, who is also a subscriber of mine, suggests I do Pokemon Nuzlocke, but I'm not going to do that. First of all, my grandfather said he wouldn't let me put an emulator on the computer. Second of all, I honestly don't even find it fun. And third of all, if I'm going to do a Pokemon game, I'm not going to alter the data in some way, form, or fashion like that. Unless I'm the one that actually makes the game, I don't want to change the data. That's why I like Minecraft. Because there, it seems to be promoting you changing the data. Plus, think about it. Minecraft teaches you how to program stuff. I mean, while some of the ideas in the Pokemon are interesting, like randomizer things and whatnot, just on the level of, instead of just putting specific Pokemon chosen for each route and whatnot, that's fine, but I'm not going to do it through that method. I'm just gonna wait until, oh, I don't know, they make it in an actual Pokemon game like that. I mean, if you're a Pokemon fan, you should know what I'm saying. You go on Route 1, you see maybe something like a Pidgey, a Spearow, and a Caterpie or something like that. I don't know specifically what Pokemon on what routes and what games, but I'm just making a point. On Route 1, you would normally see Pokemon, just those three Pokemon, or Pokemon of similar power levels, or something like that. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but uh, if Pokemon are all over the place, as they say in both the video games and TV shows, then why is it only specific Pokemon in a specific location? And I don't mean region, I mean route. Why don't they just put them everywhere in the route? I mean, in the region, and each route just determines the rarities of them. I mean, while, like Pikachu, it could be accessible in every single route in the Kanto region, but it's more common in Viridian Forest than the rest. Now, even though it will be still very rare in the Viridian Forest, that'll keep the rarity, but add a bit of challenge. For the possibility of you could come across it in any route, even though it would be excessively rare elsewhere other than Viridian Forest, and still rare there. I mean, I know they have randomizers or Nuzlocke or something like that, and they can do that, but I'm not going to do that. Plus, like I stated, I'm not doing emulators, both because my grandfather said I couldn't have them on the computer, and because, well, they're not fun. I'm sorry, they're just not fun. About the only game I like playing on the computer is Minecraft. And if I'm going to play a Pokemon game, I'd do it on my 3DS or something. And if I'm not able to get into a comfortable position, which, as you can see, I'm kind of reclining back, and if you can't see that, black thing's the chair. This chair actually does have that ability. I do this because, one, while admittedly I am a bit overweight, and this is about the only way I can get into a comfortable position. Two, I just like reclining. I don't know what it is. It may just be my ADHD for all I know. But the point still remains, if I can't get into a comfortable position, I don't play the game. And any video gamer knows, when you're playing a game, you kind of want to get into the zone or whatnot. And I'm doing that because while I can get into the zone, I don't know what the zone is. I mean, seriously. You know you're confused when you use a terminology and don't know what the terminology means. But back to the whole grandfather thing, sorry I got off track, and by watching another video to make sure I hadn't already, well, kind of done this, I realized I tend to get off subjects. I may have mentioned in another video that I do that, but either way, sorry, but yeah, don't really know what else to say here. So, I guess this is bye for now. Ooh, okay, that's actually good. I met my goal. Less than 30 minutes. Well, excuse me. I guess all that's left to say is bye and speak to y'all next time.